So, Surds Introduction. Okay, Surds is very important concept starting from class 9. Okay, so what do you mean by Surds? Surds means what? It's a different term, right? Surds. A surd is an irrational root of a rational number. This definition looks very complicated, but it's very simple. A surd is an irrational root. You know the meaning of irrational, right? Irrational root of a rational number, okay? You studied rational and irrational numbers. Irrational numbers, they will not recur also and they will not end also. Non-repeating and never ending numbers are called irrational numbers. Those numbers we call it as irrational numbers, okay? For example, pi you can say. Pi is an irrational number. And you can say many examples. But now, how will we represent a surd? A surd is an irrational root of a rational number. So, how will you read this? Means nth root of a. How will you read this? Nth root of a. So, the n, the small n belongs to capital N. That means what? Capital N we usually denote for natural numbers. It is a set of natural numbers, okay? So, you know it starts from 1. Yes? But n should be greater than 1. We should not have 1 here. Okay? This is the, actually we call it as order of the surd. N can be the order of the surd, okay? Next, A is rational. The main condition is what? A is rational. And A should be positive also. And A should be positive rational. That is also you have to include, okay? A should be positive. A surd is an irrational root. Irrational root means what? The answer you're going to get for this surd will be irrational. But of a positive rational number, okay? So how will you read it? Nth root of A, this n belongs to set of natural numbers, but it should be greater than 1. This A is the radicand, okay? Radicand, R-A-D-I-C-A-N-D. So this V part, the V part inside what it is there? N. That is called order of the surd, okay ma? This symbol is called radical symbol. Under the radical symbol, what is there? A. We call it as radicand of the surd. Okay, so these conditions are very important. Now we are going to see how to identify surds. Which are surds and which are not surds. Which are surds? I told you irrational root of a rational number, right? So can you say, first we will see which are not surds, okay? Square root of 1. What do you mean by square root of 1? It is nothing but 1, right? It is a perfect square. 1 is a perfect square. Why? Because 1 square is equal to 1. Yes? You cannot say square root of 1 is a surd. Because the same way, nth root of a. Here also, nth root. Here nothing is there means what? Square root of. They will mention. Otherwise, they will not mention. Square root of. That means 2. The n will be 2 here. Okay? That is 1. Because you are getting what number? You are getting what number when you put square root of 1? You are getting a rational number. But what we need, surd means what? You should get an irrational number. Okay. So, next. Square root of 4. What is square root of 4? Actually, it is what? Square root of 2 square. 2 square. So, that will also come out. It is the answer. 2 is the answer. It is also a rational number. So, can we call this as a surd? No. Now, I am taking square root of 9. This also what? Number 9 is also a perfect square. So, how will you write this 9? 3 square, right? So, it is 3. Outside when you take, it's 3. So, it is also a rational number. So, these are all not surds. So, you should not think that it is under the square root symbol. It's a surd because it comes out as a rational number. Okay. The surds are actually unresolved what? Radicals. They cannot come out of the radical. We cannot simplify further. Only thing is you should write as an irrational number only. Okay. So that is only surds. So for example, you can say square root of next perfect square is what? 16. Square root of 16 is what? Square root of actually 4 square. They are all perfect square. How they can be surds? So it becomes 4. Okay, the answer you are getting out of the square root symbol will be rational. So they are not surds. You can say many examples. Square root of 25, square root of 81, square root of then what you will say, square root of 81, square root of 100, etc, etc. Okay, these are all not surds because square root of 25 is what? 5. Square root of 81 is what? 9. Square root of 100 is what? 10. They are all perfect squares. Okay, when perfect squares comes inside the radical symbol, they are not surds because you are getting the rational number out of it. Okay, now we will come to the surds. Then what are surds? See, look at this. Square root of 1 is a 1 square is 1. That's what 1 square root of 1 is not a surd, right? What is in between 1 and 2? Square root of 1 and square root of 4, what are there? Tell me. Square root of 1, next square root of 4. Square root of 2. After square root of 1, what is that? Square root of 2. Can you simplify the square root of 2 like this? Is it 2 a perfect square? No, we cannot simplify. Square root of 2, we cannot simplify. See, you can compare now. Nth root of a. So, nth root of, here, square root of 2. So, in the nth place, square is there. That means order is 2. So, this is what? A surd, right? And you can say square root of 3 is also a surd. Next, it comes square root of 4. It is not a surd, you know. Next, what is there? Square root of 5. Next, square root of 6. Square root of 7, square root of 8. Next square root of 9 you can't write because perfect square, no? Next square root of 10, square root of 11, square root of 12. They are all surds, okay? You can clearly understand. See, 1 is a perfect square. Square root of 1 is not a surd. So next number is what? According to the order I am saying. Square root of 2, next square root of 3, square root of 4 it is not a surd, right? Because you will get a rational number. Square root of 4 is what? 2. So it goes on. So you cannot solve it. That's what it's called. Surds are unsolved radicals. Okay, unsolved radicals are called what? Surds. So you know that square root of 2 value is what? 1.414. It goes on. Okay, it is never ending and non-repeating also. Like that, square root of 3 is what? 1.732 ... It will never end. It will not repeat also. Okay. So they are called surds. So here what is the order? We are going to see now. Order of the surd. So how to find the order, radicand and coefficient of a surd. Okay. Suppose, what is the order of this surd? I told square root of 2. So square, n is equal to 2 here. Okay. So square root of 2 means, what is the order? Order is what? 2. Okay. So here coefficient means what? For algebra, what is the coefficient of 2x? Coefficient of 2x is what? Coefficient of x is what? 2, right? So here coefficient of square root of 2. You should consider this as x. So as I said before, coefficient of x is 2 into x, right? But here when you consider this as x, what is the coefficient here? You should not say 0, 1, right? So coefficient is what? Because 1 into root 2 is root 2 only. Coefficient is what? 1. So what is the radicand here? Radicand. I told radicand is the term which is inside the radical symbol. This symbol is called radical symbol. So radicand is 2. So it is very simple. It is simple. It is actually simple surd. Okay. When coefficient is 1, it is called simple surd. For example, I am taking another surd. Square root of 8, okay? Square root of 8. So, square root of 8, how it can be written? So, you cannot take directly square root of 8. 2 is the order of the surd, 8 is the radicand, okay? And 1 is the coefficient. But here, you have to see. 8 is a bigger number, right? 2 is, how will you factorize 2? 2 into 1 is the only possibility, right? How can you write as a product? 2 into 1. But here 8, how will you write? How can you write 8? 8 into 1 is possible and 4 into 2 is possible and 2 into 4 is possible. So I am writing 4 into 2. Same answer, no? 4 2s are 8. So next, you know that using multiplication property, see, this can be split into square root of 4 into square root of 2. So what is the square root of 4? Is it a surd? No. Square root of 4 is what? 2. So 2 into root 2. Root 2 you cannot simplify, right? So 2 root 2. Now, what is the order here? Tell me, order is what? Order is what? Here only, see the surd. What is the order? Square root of 2. What is the order? Order is 2. What is the radicand? What is radicand means what? See the radical symbol. What is inside? 2. 2 is the radicand. 2 is the radicand. Next, what is the coefficient, ma? What is the coefficient? See here. In here, nothing is there. So, we put 1. 1 into root 2. Coefficient is 1. But here, what is the coefficient? It is nothing but 2 into root 2. Okay, coefficient is what? 2. Here, order is 2, radicand is 2, coefficient is 2. So, they will give like this a bigger number. Suppose, for example, I am taking square root of 40. Okay, square root of 40 means how can you write? You can factorize it and check. 40 can be written as 10 into 4 also you can write, right? 8 into 5 also you can write, but here the thing is, how can you simplify is, here the order is what? Order is 2 because square root of 40. Order is 2 means you have to write this as a product of one perfect square and another number. So perfect square, the only two possibilities, what are the possibilities I said? 8 5s are 40, 10 2s are 40, next 20 2s are 40. So which are among this, which is a perfect square? See, 10 4s are 40. I am writing here. And 10 and 20 2s are 40. 8 5s are 40. Otherwise, 40 1s are 40. Next, any possibility? 5 8s are 8 5s are both are same. So here, which is a perfect square, which you can see as a perfect square here. Here, the C can see 4 is a perfect square. So, I want you to write like 10 into 4. So, 10 into 4 is 40. Okay. So, I am going to split it. 10 square root of 10 into square root of 4. So, this square root of 10 into square root of 4 is what? 2. So, the answer is what? 2 root 10. 2 root 10. So, here what is the order? Order means, look at the radical symbol. What is it? Actually, it is read as what? Square root of. So, order is 2. Radicand is what? Radicand. What is inside the radical symbol? 10. And what is the coefficient? Coefficient is what? Here also 2. So, square root of 10 into 2. It can be written as coefficient first. 2 into square root of 10. So, this is how we find the order, radicand and coefficient of a surd. Suppose if the order is, we can ask only order will be 2. No, order can be 3, 4. 4 means order can be 5 also. Okay. Order can be 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. etc. Suppose I am taking, for example, I am taking a surd, cube root of, I can take 40. Okay, cube root of 40. So, what is the order here? Tell me order. Order is 3. You can say directly because what is inside this B part of the radical. In square root, they will not mention because we read it as square root. It's okay. Cube root means you have to mention. Basically, it's a square root. The symbol is called square root symbol. So, we say if you put 2 also, it is mean that order is 2. Here, cube root of 40. Order is 3. So, what is the radicand? As we did here, 40. How we wrote 10 into 4? Because order is 2, we wrote 10 into 4. Because 10 is 4 is a perfect square, right? Here, 40, how will you write? You have to write as a product of one perfect cube and another number. So, 40, you can factorize and check. 2 20s are 40, 2 10s are 20, 2 5s are 10. And 5 is a prime number. You can stop. So, how many 2's are coming? 3 2's are. So, how will you write this? Cube root of 40 is equal to cube root of, how many 3's? 3. So, 2 cube into 5. Can I write like this? 2 cube into 5? Yes. So, when I separate it, so cube root of 2 cube into cube root of 5. I can separate like this, okay? As we separated here. You can check. So, Here, what is the cube root of 2 cube? It is nth root of a power n is a. So, cube root of actually 8 is what? 2. Okay. So, this can come out. This 3 will get cancelled. Actually, the laws of radicals say that nth root of a to the power n becomes a. When order is same, here this order and the radicand power is same, you can write it as a. Okay. You can use fractional index also. It is how will you write 2 power 3 the whole power 1 by 3 ma. You can write like this, right, using fractional index into cube root of 5. So this means what? This 3 will get cancelled. I'm just explaining how it is coming, okay. So 2 into cube root of 5 is the answer. So this is how you simplify. When it is a square root, you can go for perfect square and another number product. When it is a perfect cube order is 2, order is 3 means you have to write as a perfect cube into another number. So you can simplify. See, further you can't simplify further. So here what is the order? Order is what? Order already we have written, right? Order is 3. What is the coefficient? Coefficient is 2. 2 into cube root of 5. No? Next, what is the radicand? What is inside the radical symbol? Radicand is what? 5. So this is how we find order, radicand and coefficient of a surd.